I see, and y'all know how I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So let's get into it. What is this called? The bottom line. Like we always do. Thank God for another day, giving us his grace and his praise in order to be here to get through another one. It's your boy Bugatti NYC. I want to thank you guys for coming to hang out with me. Why don't y'all go on over to the website www.drinkbigdrip.com. Big flavor, big taste, big punch. Website is www.drinkbigdrip.com. Two G's, two P's. Can't get it wrong. www.drinkbigdrip.com. Go on over there and get yourself a 4-pack. Raspberry, grape, lemon. 14% alcohol by volume, y'all. That means all you need is one can, baby. It's all you need. It's all you need. Support your boy. I appreciate it. So, as you guys can see, today's topic has to do with Trump, our president-elect who is coming into office. It says birthright for immigrants. Will Trump end birthright for immigrants? Seems like that's a large topic that we're covering and that what everybody actually has something to say about because of the fact that he only has about 47 more days to take office. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Do you care? Either or. If he enacts laws where he might try to take away birthright citizens. That means that birthright citizens means that if you were born here, you could stay here. That's the law currently, but he's trying to change it. Also, we got in the news, we got Floyd Bennett Field that's being shut down. That's where the shelters were at for New York City. Also in Chicago, they're closing down shelters. So all of the migrant shelters that we've been seeing around town and around the cities, they're actually being closed down now. Also, New York City sets to end the debit card program. Debit card program, cost the city about $3 billion in itself. That's a program where any migrant that came to the New York City, instead of them having to go to soup kitchens or such sorts, they would actually be given a debit card with about $2,000 to $3,000 on it so that they can go anywhere that they want to eat for free. Must be nice to be able to go where you want to go, eat anywhere that you want, also be able to stay in hotels, use that money to buy candy, go to BJ's and go on the train and sell candy, send that money back to the cartels. That's what was going on. Guess you guys didn't know? Now you do. Also, you got Trump winning $15 million from ABC. How'd he do that? I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, it was a while ago, when George Stephanopoulos basically said a couple of derogatory comments about his case and already put the sentiment out that he was an R word, guilty of the R word. And basically, Trump put out a defamation of character lawsuit, and he recently won. That lawsuit was settled for $15 million. Also $1 million, which went to his lawyers. And I think the money went to a foundation or something like that for the president. Also, the last thing I got to tell you guys about is the FBI. Were the informants present at January 6th? This and much more on today's episode of The Bottom Line. Let's get into it.
Presidential bid, Donald Trump made immigration a central component of his campaign. Beyond his promise of carrying out the largest mass deportation operation in history, Trump also vowed to tighten the border and make big changes to America's immigration system, including the possibility of ending birthright citizenship. Now, as he's poised to take office again, he's doubling down on that promise.
You promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
Change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
We're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to, on our land, Congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
That interview was just last week, and it was Trump's first interview since winning the election. And before we move on, let's do some cleanup on aisle 14, because Donald Trump got a couple of facts wrong.
So now I saw this interview myself, and I want to say that it was kind of surprising to me because, you know, I actually have a few friends that have spoken about this situation, and what they feel is if, you know, the sentiment is in a couple of directions, to be honest with you guys. The sentiment is, you know, a lot of people, like I said, they don't care. People don't care about stuff like that. They don't, you know, unless you have a family member or something like that which you may have to worry about that may be sent back somewhere. A lot of us, not myself, but a lot of people don't really have any regard for the situation. But there's a lot of moving parts when it comes down to why we should care about this, because anytime laws are enacted and put together, you got to realize it can affect more than one person and more than one situation, especially down the line. Just like January 6th, we have to worry about peaceful transfers of power. We've got to worry about all sorts of pardons being changed up and made right now. And that's another point that I want to bring up, but I'm not. But as far as birthright citizens, we have a lot of people that are scared right now, nervous, and feel as if, you know, that they can be sent back and their aware lives can be sent back. Let's listen to both sides of the coin and not just one side right here. So we're going to continue letting them go for a bit because some of the further information that I found was interesting.
In that telling, the United States is not the only country that grants birthright citizenship. More than 30 other countries around the world have the same policy, including both of our closest neighbors, Canada and Mexico. It's also not true that the United States grants citizenship to just anyone by setting foot on American soil. Birthright citizenship, as Kristen Welker noted in that interview, is enshrined in the 14th Amendment. Indeed, Section 1 of the 14th Amendment states very plainly, quote, all people born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States and the state where they reside. And while Donald Trump seemed only to have concepts of a plan for getting around the 14th Amendment in his mission to end birthright citizenship, it does seem that some in Trump world are coming up with a strategy for taking this on. The Trump campaign laid out a plan in Agenda 47, that's Trump's official policy manifesto, to use executive orders to direct federal agencies to deny passports and social security numbers to the children of undocumented immigrants. That would, of course, be plainly unconstitutional, and lawsuits would immediately be filed. But according to Politico's reporting this weekend, that might be the point. All of this seems to be part of a long-term strategy to get the issue of birthright citizenship and presidential authority over the conferral of citizenship before the Supreme Court.
Now, what they're trying to say is sometimes you want to bring a case just in case, because let's say one court strikes it, it'll go to a higher court. And in this case, the higher court is the Supreme Court. The higher court just received 3 more nominations and 3 more judges from the Trump administration. So they're feeling as if they may actually overturn the law. There's always something else, guys. There's always something.
Which, don't forget, is controlled by a 6-3 conservative supermajority that includes 3 Trump appointees. The incoming administration wants to take birthright citizenship to the United States Supreme Court because they think they can win there. So it's worth taking stock of just how radical this idea is. And to do that, we need to understand what birthright citizenship is, why it exists in the first place, and why efforts to undermine it are inherently rooted in a history of white supremacy. The 14th Amendment is one of the 3 Reconstruction-era amendments that Congress added to the United States Constitution after.
Now, I don't support any of the claims that she just made when she said that, and I may have to. That's why I don't like to keep on playing certain people's clips, because I don't support anything that you're saying about the white supremacy or anything of that nature, and that's not founded. I have no information to support your claim at all for what you're trying to state right now. I would let you continue because your next claim is something that I'm interested in the people hearing, but the last claim that you made is not supported or validated.
After the United States Civil War. It was passed with the purpose of unequivocally granting citizenship to the formerly enslaved and their descendants. Moreover, the 14th Amendment was meant to be a corrective to the Supreme Court's 1858 decision in Dred Scott versus Sanford, The decision that many legal scholars consider to be, quote, the worst ever rendered by the Supreme Court. And there were a lot to choose from. In that case, Dred Scott, an enslaved man who traveled with his enslaver to free territories, sued for his freedom after his enslaver died. But the majority of the justices on the Supreme Court concluded that slaves were not citizens of the United States. In fact, the court questioned whether the descendants of African slaves could ever be citizens of the United States.
Now, what I don't support is how come African slaves and immigrants can be put in the same category when they didn't help to create and help to carve out and help to make America what it is now. So I gotta be honest with you, and y'all can get me in the comments. Y'all can tear me up in the comments, beat me down, and I probably, I'm probably gonna deserve it. But how could you give illegal immigrants and people that came from another country same sort of things that you're going to be giving to American people who fought to make our country what it is? That's why all of this equality sort of, evening stuff out the playing field is not cool when it comes down to African American and black people. Because no, we should not be receiving the same sort of, just regards and things as non-Americans. No, we do not deserve to be on a higher pedestal. Please don't look at me as saying that. But for some foreign person to come inside of our country and to be given the same sort of rights and respect and regards as people who've actually broken our back, broken sweats in order to make the country what it is, I don't believe in that. And I know my mother taught me right from wrong. I'm not a mean person at heart, so I know that I could possibly, there's a majority of the fact that I might be right about what I'm saying. It's not right. If I go to their country, are they gonna give me the same thing that they give everybody else over there? It's not right. I haven't earned that. I have not been there that long. That's why I don't feel that it's fair. You're putting a Dred Scott, an African American slave, someone who you said was traveling around with his enslaver in free cities, who fought to get his own rights. There is no similarity here. Bottom line. Next, got one more clip on this one because it has to be followed up because it's in the queue. But no, we're not going for that. We will not be going for that. Sorry, that's not what we're going for. Need you guys to give me a second. Hope you all had a good night. Hope everything is going good for you guys, and I hope you had a great weekend. It's the top of Monday. Let's go.
Let me ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with
Well, we're
executive
not going to
action?
change. We'll maybe have to go back.
So all persons born in the United States, the thing that he's trying to do is stop the parents from being able to stay because they had a child while they were here illegally. What do you guys think about that part? Should they be able to stay if they had a child here illegally? Should the parent be able to stay? Because in other parts of this interview, he said something that was stern. It hit. It was kind of hard to hear, but it was like, what do they call it? What do they call that? When you got to take your medicine, sometimes the medicine tastes nasty, but you got to take it in order to feel better. Castor oil. Sometimes you got to take the castor oil in order to get what you got to get. Real talk. Oh, we got some Arabic whatchamacallits in here. We got some trolls in here. You not Cameron, nigga. We good. Alvin or whoever clapped. Y'all elected a dictator and don't even know it. Dred Scott was before the Civil War. Who's that? Sam H. Melania needs to go then. Doc 81. Interesting. Doc 81 said Melania needs to go then. And then it says once illegal, always illegal. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Monica Armstrong, hard to digest. I know it's hard to digest, right? Let's go.
Back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to on our land. Congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Through executive
You know,
action?
well, if we can, through executive action. I was going to do it through executive action, but then we had to fix COVID first, to be honest with you. We have to end it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and
So
top
yeah,
stories.
that's what Trump thinking. He's saying he's gonna end it, not trying to have it no more. It's over. Also, let me tell you guys what's going on right now in New York City. Got a city that's basically, really losing money, and a situation where, we have no officers, there's no protection out here. Got everybody running around, driving on sidewalks, and a lot of crimes are being committed, R words and all sorts of stuff like that. But right now, things are changing in a drastic way where a lot of people are not happy, and a lot of people are fighting back and pushing back. And even some of the immigrants that we're talking about, they had pushback. And there's a lot of people, let's say in Chicago, some immigrant rights groups actually out protesting and fighting for their rights, which is the dopest thing about the United States of America. Why? Because it's a free country, and since you're here and since you're able to do that, why not exercise those rights?
Right now, activists and immigrant rights groups are sharing their concerns that changes to migrant shelters could leave more people on the street.
Make Chicago better for all, regardless of how long you've been here and how long you've called Chicago home. If you call Chicago home today, it can be your future home too. Because we need a city that looks out for everyone.
There was a rally outside City Hall this morning.
Big rally outside of Chicago in City Hall. Look at that. Housing for all. Fund a Chicago for all. Looks like a large group of all of the citizens, migrants, people that actually, looks like a whole bunch of hardworking citizens to me. Let's be honest here. Anybody here look like they committing any crimes, anything? I don't think these ladies got time to make these posters if they're committing crimes. So this is what I'm talking about. People like this, I don't think that things should apply as far as like the illegal and taking people out. People like these, real citizens and people that are helping the country and making America great and helping out, let people like this stay and find ways to make it happen. That's how I personally feel.
The group was worried about the city's new unified shelter system that combines migrant services with others for those dealing with homelessness.
Yeah, so that, again, only my personal take. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of rhetoric, and I still feel like everybody should still say their part on how we feel about about our lives and where we live at. It's only right. I think we got this right here too. We got a little bit more on this. Check this out. The debit cards I was telling you guys about. There's been situations where it's like debit cards, those debit cards that I was telling you about. Look how much money was on these debit cards that they was giving out. Check this out.
The city is ending its controversial program that gives debit cards to migrants. The city has now spent $3.6 million on those debit cards for about 2,600 migrant families who are staying in shelters without kitchen access. Now, the mayor's office says that when the program finishes at the end of the year, they will go back to providing those migrants boxed meals.
So now $3.6 million spent on debit cards, 2,600 migrant families. Basically, I've known and I've seen, I don't know about you guys, but in the state of New York, there's been people that had like $3,000, $7,000, $8,000 on their food stamp cards. Not citizens, no. The people that come over, they give you a debit card and they give you like money on this food stamp card where you can go buy food, and it's a lot of money. And it has to go up to the amount of children that you have. So if you got a migrant family with like 2-3 kids, yeah, they could be seeing like, $3,000 to $5,000 a month just on a debit card, for them to be able to eat. And then they still get the food and the hotels for free and everything, you know? What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Send the parent home, child care, return when they're 18. C. Lynn said send the parent home and the child can return when they're 18. Return to United States, C. Lynn, is that what you're saying? Sam H. Oh, and you have to prove that your parents were here legally or you're no longer a citizen. Daniel Dickerson said there's a lie in her question. That's on how it read in the 14th Amendment. There was never an outright birthright citizenship. Okay. I didn't notice that one, but I got you. Thank you for the observation, Danielle, or Daniel. Sam H., that's how Trump is talking about it, though. Rose E., you got a good soul. You're a good soul. Thank you. My real name is E, too, so it's almost like you know me. That's fire. Thank you. Hope you get in your life how you talk and feel about the less fortunate. Hope you get in your life. No, I have to work hard, Sam H. I work very hard. Nothing comes to me for free. I got all this technology over here and I don't even know how to do StreamYard. So Sam H, nope, still working in the analog era, buddy. Older man, still grinding. I get nothing for free at all. I got to bust my butt. Joe Legacy says, I agree. But we have so many illegals now, a bunch of the good people will get caught up in it. And it has to happen. The illegal have to go. Brandon Jordan, build that wall. Just Lynn, wow. Meanwhile, citizens, people need to qualify for assistance. Yep, Just Lynn, they definitely do. Oh my God, my elderly disabled mom can barely get 200 and she's a citizen. See that, Rose? And how about the veterans and the people that's sleeping outside of the hotels? These migrants are inside of high-end hotels in New York City. I'm sorry to do this, but when I was younger, I always said to myself, if I get homeless, I'm going to live on Park Avenue or Fifth Avenue. They beat me to it. Homeless people living on Park Avenue, Fifth Avenue, under scaffolds and everything like that. Not only that, but the migrants are inside of the hotels because we're affording the bills. We're paying the bills. The New York City budget is paying the bills. Yeah, right, far right. That'd be under That'd be under $1,400 a card, which isn't good. I'm just saying it's not crazy. What you mean? That doesn't make sense. I don't understand what you said, and I've seen it myself where the card has more than $3,000 and $4,000 on it. I seen one lady who had about $7,000 on her EBT card. I don't make up lies. Just Lynn C. Oh my God, Americans don't even get that much with assistance. No, they don't. Not fair, Rose. Oh, you're right. You're right, for right. I seen some cashiers showing. Here we go. Thank you. Let me read. Yeah, right, far right. I seen some cashiers showing receipts, and some of these people ID like $30,000 and $40,000 on them. I'm so tired of people trying to make me out to be a liar and saying that I'm making stuff up. All I do is retain information and give it back. Straight up. And I was undercutting the amount that I saw. I saw 3,000. This person says 30,000 and 40,000, and I believe her. Yes, I agree. Build a wall, deport criminals, and no more Mr. Nice Guy moving forward. Not just the Rose E, not just the 14th, but when the Chinese kid came back from China, I think it was the 9th or something like that. He also enforced birthright citizenship within his lawsuit. Rose E, 1901. That you can look at. These people are complaining and we're helping them. You're a hateful person. Wait a minute, Sam H. That you can look at these people and complain that we're helping them. You're a hateful person. So Sam H thinks that I am a hateful person because he thinks that I can look at these people and complain that we're helping them. Nope, Sam, I'd rather help my people first. Get all my people up off the streets. There should be no homeless people now. With the money that we spent, Sam H, there should be no homeless people on the street. No homeless citizens, New York and people that are actually born here. It's either you go all the way or you don't go at all. That's what it's amazing said. Rose E, veterans were removed from the elderly. All right, so we got to keep going, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. We off this topic. I'm glad everybody has something to say about it. And don't beat up the messenger. I always try to tell you guys that. Sometimes you don't. Oh, how about this? Don't beat up the messenger until I give you the information that you need. Don't quit your job until you got another one. That means that even if it's somebody that you don't like, if they tell you the information, if they're giving you the right information, how about keep getting that information and stop trying to finish off the messenger? Because you still need the information. You might not like people, but you still got to work with them. You don't like the president, but you still got to be under him. Life is life. The best thing that I learned about life is getting used to change. It's the hardest thing to do. All right, so yeah, we're gonna keep cooking. Right now I could freestyle, but what I really want to do, I'm trying to keep it on what we're talking about because of the fact that, it's energetic right now and things are happening. So let's keep it right here. We just got a situation where Donald Trump just got awarded $15 million from ABC for some words and allegations and things that were said about him. Now ABC has to backtrack everything that they said, as well as make a formal apology and give him $15 million. Check this out.
With President Trump paying out $15 million and the liberal media is losing it. Watch.
I do worry about the effect this could have on others and the chilling effect it might have on people who otherwise would be critical of Donald Trump.
I gotta think that the ABC boardroom was involved in this decision somehow. And my big worry, to put a finer point on what Barbara's saying, is it is somehow caught up in the fact that he's gonna be president soon.
Joe Concha, though, says Trump is extending his winning streak with victory over ABC and Stephanopoulos. Hey, that guy is Joe Concha. He joins us now. Joe, I want to read what Mark Elias, the lawyer for the Democratic Party, you see him all over the place whenever there's an election kerfuffle that he's trying to start. Posting on X, quote, knee bent, ring kissed. Another legacy outlet chooses obedience. But Joe, the literal example that law school...
Hold on a minute. Because just like me, I didn't know what they were talking about. So I'm over here like, what are you talking about? What did George Stephanopoulos say? There was so much stuff being said, and this is why I'm the person that I am. Because I wanted to know what the HNIC, the argument was, what exactly George Stephanopoulos said, and why ABC has to now pay Donald Trump $15 million. Let's see what he actually said, because we got the clip.
Judge for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I answered it. You're shaming me for my political choices.
I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape.
It was not a criminal court. This was a civil court.
It was a civil
court. And by the way, she joked about the judgment and what she was going to do with all that money, and I find that offensive.
I'm asking you
but
about
as a rape victim who's been shamed for years now because of her rape, you're trying to shame me again by asking me this political question.
You've repeated that again.
I think it's offensive. As a woman, I find it offensive. My political choices, I've endorsed the man that I believe is best for our country. It's not Joe Biden. And you looked at the dueling rallies yesterday in Georgia. Lincoln Riley's family was with Donald Trump. They weren't with Joe Biden. The same guy yesterday that apologized for calling her killer an illegal, who wasn't illegal. And here you are trying to shame a rape victim. I find it disgusting.
I mean, you keep saying I'm shaming you.
You are. The question, it is.
How is the question asking you about a presidential candidate who's...
You're asking a rape victim.
Yeah, so basically this right here is the reason why there's a $15 million settlement in Trump's favor. But what's crazy about it is they paid it out, didn't really even take the money, gave it to like funds and stuff like that, and basically kept probably $1 million for lawyer fees. I mean, your boy is slam dunking these dudes like crazy. I know you hate when somebody keep on winning, but boo! Your boy keep on winning. I mean, like, he keeps on winning.
John Roberts in Washington, the report reveals that there were a total of 26 confidential human sources in the crowd that...
Oh, I skipped the video. I meant to show you guys something else, but that's something else that's coming up. basically something I got to tell you guys about and bring it in before, before I want to bring that in. So let me just bring that in now. Come to find out that there's a conspiracy going on, the C word, where the IG has released a report on the FBI's handling of January 6th. We didn't know, but there were about 30 confidential informants in the actual crowd during the situation, during the riot, during the storming. There's actually FBI informants and operatives that went inside of parts that they were supposed to be arrested for being at. A lot of them were even off that day, but still went to the riot anyway.
That day.
David Spunt is live from the Justice Department. He has got the news for us. David.
Sandra, 3 of those were authorized and tasked by the FBI to be there on January 6, 2021. We're coming up on 4 years since that day of the Capitol riot. This IG report specifically focuses on the FBI's handling of confidential human sources, or as we know them, FBI informants. For years, the outgoing FBI director, Chris Wray, has been pressed on reports of undercover agents. According to this new report, there were no undercover FBI agents. However, there were 3 confidential human sources tasked by the Bureau to be in the crowd on January 6th to specifically watch what the report states is concerns over domestic terrorism. Out of those 3, Sandra and John, 1 entered the Capitol, 2 others entered a restricted area. The report says the FBI did not encourage or authorize any sources to go into the building or a restricted area. In addition to the 3 confidential human sources, the FBI told there were 23 that were there on their own. Now,
23 that were there on their own. Now, if it was just 3 or 4, that'd be nothing. But 23, that don't sound like an operation to me. That don't sound like an operation to you, plus the other 3 that went inside. I'm just saying. And I can't negate what happened here. Because just because there were operatives that were there, it doesn't negate that this happened. And it doesn't negate how it happened. Let's be honest about it. Let's be on both sides about this. I was alive. We all know J6 was messed up and some people lost their lives.
They had worked with the FBI in the past on other cases, but not specifically on the January 6th rally. Some of them entered a restricted area as well. And what stands out in this report, John and Sandra, none of the confidential human sources that entered the U.S. Capitol or a restricted area were prosecuted by the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office. Remember, this is an office that is still arresting nearly 4 years later and prosecuting people with this case. Now,
so if they know that there were 3 operatives that were actually there and 24 that were there on their day off, 24 just happened to have the same day off, how come they haven't been investigated or spoken to? Just asking.
In a response to the Inspector General, the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office says the following. The D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office generally has not charged those individuals whose only crime on January 6, 2021 was to enter the restricted grounds surrounding the Capitol, which has resulted in the office declining to charge hundreds of individuals, and we have treated the confidential human sources as consistent with this approach. Outgoing FBI Director Christopher Wray, who announced that he would be stepping down in the next few weeks yesterday, has been pressed on the FBI's role on January 6th. Here's just one clip from last year.
What if I told you that?
So my question, we don't need to see the clip. I have a question. My question is, wouldn't it be interesting if that FBI head operative is getting a pardon now? Because I'm interested in seeing who all the people are that are getting pardons. Because even people like, what's his name? The Canada governor, he's saying that all of these preemptive, pardons aren't good. He's like, why would you be acting like there's fire when there's if there's smoke when there's no fire? Why are we doing preemptive pardons if there's nothing there? Big questions. Real talk. Here we go. What we got? We got some real haters on here today, boy. I love y'all. Thank you. Let's keep it going, y'all. I love y'all nastiness. I like to do it. I love it. Okay, Trump just keeps on winning. We'll bring up the weather on screen and expand upon the interpretations. Yeah, okay. Imagine being racist after 2024 election. You must be a fine example of your family. 5150 Red said that. Purple drank the massage of the... Yep, Purple drank. He's not being real. You sound as bad as Timmy Turner. Okay, have a great day. I'm going to subscribe. Thank you. Let me keep on reading some more. Alfonso McCrae, very evil. Okay, Helmut Vogel, Alfonso McCrae, January 6th. Norman Coates, yes, and he deserves to win. He is the right man for America. Chad Reed, you think he can change the 14th Amendment? No, I don't know. That's something to ask. You think that the way that he's talking about it is they're going to try to do something about it, but we will see. I don't know, Chad. Good question. Great question. Alfonso says it was talked about during judicial hearings. Toes Beast Gaming. He isn't the right man. He isn't a man even. Ooh, okay. Vladimir Putin says, look at Al Sharpton in the background with them guys. And we're not changing. They could not be into just okay. Slim Boy Mike Trump 2025. Toes Beast Gammon Simps for Trump. The Massacre of Banu. Define what a confidential is in legal terms. Tell me what it is, massacre. What a confidential is. A confidential agent, that's somebody that's working undercover, I guess, and they're an agent that's... Actually, I need to look at that. I need to find out myself what that is. Only 26 out of hundreds of people. You literally have a purple drink as your desktop background. That's right. That's right. Because I sell the purple drink, guys. That's actually what I do. www.drinkbigdrip.com. This is the new scissor. We actually had the old one called scissor, which somebody tried to refer to in the comments. So I might as well go ahead and tell you. Cameron was signed to us, and we were able to get the logo and all of the paperwork for scissor. So what we did was we changed everything around now. We changed it to Big Drip. It's the same flavor and everything. We just put it in cans because that's what's going on in the market right now. Must be 21 and older to drink this, though, just to let you guys know. Do we got one more? I knew we had one more. This one right here is something that we all are interested in because we're all on social networks, I assume. And it's something that we all are going to need to know about as far as January 1st. What's going on with TikTok? Will they stay or will they go? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Their pending ban in the U.S. has been rejected.
I'm Alex Kramer. It's now time to take a look at your latest business headlines. Well, a U.S. appeals court has denied TikTok's emergency request.
TikTok has been denied. So everybody that be out here, yeah, sorry. TikTok must now move quickly with a request to the Supreme Court to block or overturn a law. Just like what you guys said, they got to go to the Supreme Court in the United States to try to overturn a law in order to stay active. Check it out.
A law that could lead to the app's permanent ban right here in the States. So this ruling means TikTok now has to take its case to the Supreme Court if it wants to stop the potential ban. Now, the whole dispute centers around security concerns raised by U.S. authorities, which TikTok officials continue to challenge. So we'll help with breaking that down and a whole lot more. Let's welcome an adjunct professor at Montclair State University, Dan Geltrude. Dan, good morning. Okay, so we're at a bit of a crossroads here. So will TikTok's parent company divest of the app, or will it be banned? I mean, this has been such a back and forth. It's very interesting because on one hand, they're saying, hey, the Chinese owners only own up 20% of TikTok. There is no security concern here. And the other side of the states are saying, yes, it is a security concern. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen?
Well, we'll find out whether it gets to the Supreme Court or not, and then that will be absolute. But we're also going to have an absolute answer if it doesn't get to the Supreme Court, because as of January 19th, if it doesn't go to the Supreme Court, then it's going to be banned in the United States. So what I think will happen is one way or the other, there's a good chance that TikTok will have to sell. But the question here, as you've raised, is whether it's truly a national security threat. I don't know that, and we're relying on the government to tell us that it is. Now, look, I'm in New Jersey. I got drones flying over my head every single night. First it was don't believe your lying eyes, and now it's like, well, we'll have to look into this. Maybe it is drones. So, quite frankly, I don't know what to believe here, Alex.
Dan, you raised the...
We don't know what to believe. We really don't. We don't know what to believe. And since y'all like the purple drink, I'm leaving the purple drink up right now. Because I'm not going to keep on having a little girl face up like that, because that's kind of creepy. We was talking about migrants and stuff like that. That title was over. I appreciate you guys, and I'm glad that you came. And the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me. Oh yeah, again, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Big taste, big flavor, big punch. Y'all gonna be surprised when y'all taste it. Hope y'all have a fantastic day. Time to get on to the next show, some more content. And until tomorrow, like I always tell you, could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Get 'em! 1.